For the first time ever in the 8th season of legendary Starladder, viewers will be able to increase the Dota 2 prize pool on their own. The base prize pool is $50,000. Each ticket bought through the Dota 2 store will add $2.50 to the tournament prize pool. Support your favorite team and help the development Starladder Star Series. Every ticket owner gets an exclusive Weaver set. Starladder Game Revolution.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Starladder Season 8. It's day 25. I'm LD of Beyond the Summit, and I'll be solo casting this one. We'll see if anybody else joins me later on, but for the time being, I am all by my lonesome. Hopefully, I don't screw anything up too badly. It's been a long time since I did an XSplit broadcast, so if there are any technical issues, just let me know in the chat. I probably will ignore you and just listen to my mods, but wow, with that being said, we've got a big day of Starladder action ahead of us. There are 6 best-of-1 matches coming up, and pretty much all of them have big implications, many of them playoff implications at that. The first match is going to be Sigma versus Power Rangers, best-of-1, of course, for all Starladder games, and this one, Power Rangers were actually one of the hottest teams starting the group stage off, but after losing to Empire yesterday, they lost their kind of guaranteed inside track to the LAN finals. They're not eliminated yet, but it's a small chance at this point. So to keep their chances alive, they need to beat Sigma, who are currently sitting in 4th place, but not convincingly so at that. Of course, Sigma, one of the stronger teams in this event. They really came on hot back at MLG Columbus, and since then they've been somewhat hot or cold. I feel like whenever I watch the Sigma team, a lot of their games come down to 2 things. One is the draft, especially against teams where they're very evenly matched. And the other thing is Fata's individual play. So we'll have to see how they perform here. But, of course, you give Sigma the edge. But Power Rangers, I mean, this is one of my kind of personal favorite up-and-coming teams. I don't even know if you can call them purely up-and-coming at this point, because they've gone deep at quite a few CIS events. We saw them take a best-of-3 off of Navi at the most recent Tech Labs event. They often are over-aggressive, but when they deliver, they really deliver. So if I was doing a Mad Rares episode, I would have told you guys to put your Rares in Power Rangers, because I'm guessing the odds are actually pretty heavily in Sigma's favor, but I still think Power Rangers can take this one. So the draft just now getting underway. I have not really cast Western Dota in a long time, so excuse me if I have no idea what I'm talking about, but it is still 6.79B, or is it C at this point? I can't even remember, but picks and bans have been pretty much the same since then. Interesting, I think the one interesting thing in this draft is Power Rangers bans. They ban out the Bane, a less common support, but something Sigma do like to run. They like to use it to set up Mirana arrows. That's one of their go-to heroes. And the other respect ban, just straight up respect ban here, is, of course, the Fata puck getting banned out in the first stage. So, well, Sigma, they'll go for Visage. I still think one of the top 3 supports in this patch, and has still a very consistently high win rate. I forget exactly what it is, but it's still over 50%. And considering how much he gets picked, and often picked by not-so-good teams, that's quite impressive. So they go Clockwork Visage.
5 seconds.
They secure a very strong offlaner. As far as other good offlaners in the pool, Timbersaw is probably the big one that jumps out at me. Something Power Rangers definitely has run in the past. We'll have to see if they look to do it here. And my voice has not changed. I am casting in a room that has not really been set up fully yet, so there may be a bit of echo. Uh-oh. Did I just lag out? I think my Dota just crashed, guys. Don't panic. Don't panic. I got this. Hopefully XSplit didn't crash. Okay. I'm just going to close Dota and restart. Yeah, so it's a different microphone, but it's also like a room that hasn't been soundproofed. Well, not soundproof, but treated for sound. So like you'll hear a little reverb. It might be a little echoey, but hopefully you can bear with me. We're under construction, guys. We're not finished yet. This is not our permanent new setup. But well, while we load back in the game, hopefully this won't take too long. It's I would put my rares on Power Rangers. Actually, looking at the odds, it's 72% Sigma. I would not give Sigma a 72% chance of winning. I think it's much more like 65-35, 60-40, something like that. So I would say Power Rangers is a great bet, but obviously too late at this point. I'll give you guys my personal bets once we get into the next game. And let me see if I can get rid of my net graph. Dota, disband. Why are you not letting me access the console? Oh boy. Ay, ay, ay. What can you do? Set launch options. Okay, I have console enabled. What are you doing? Oh, Dota's being very frustrating right now. Alright, we're restarting Dota again. Third time's the charm, right? Jesus Christ. Ay, ay, ay. But, well, sorry you're missing the draft, guys. Hopefully we won't have any random Dota crashes once we get into the game. But I hope you're all having a good... What is today, anyway? I don't even know what day of the week it is. Saturday. Hope you're having a great Saturday. I've been up all night taking care of our new cats. We got 2 kittens for the VTS house. They're like 9 weeks old. It's a brother and a sister, and they are terrified of me. They like run away if I come near them. Ben's girlfriend, or Merlini's girlfriend, like they love her. They're all about her, but they fucking hate me. They just run away at a moment's notice. So we'll load back in. Netgraph has been removed. Not sure why my console randomly stops working. But, well, here we go. Okay, didn't miss too much draft, actually. So as far as the bans go, I think the big surprise for me is just how Slark's been valued. Because when he first got released in the CM, which I guess was like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, he was pretty much insta-first pick material and insta-first ban. And I don't actually think he's that strong, but he's just a hero that's tough to deal with if you're not experienced against him. And he's also a very snowball-y carry. So if you ever fall behind or just make a few mistakes against Slark, the game can really fall apart. He's pretty good against the Sigma lineup. Generally, the best lineups to have are just huge burst damage lineups, but Clockwork's not very effective against him. Neither is Dragon Knight. Visage is quite good because he has Soul Assumption, but I think the Slark ban is smart, and I think it's just an annoying hero in general. Also, this is Sigma, and oh god, was it Miguel? Yeah, it was Miguel, and this was the TI3 West qualifiers. He was the one who like busted Slark out, and oh god, what team was he even playing for at that point? I can't even remember. But whatever team he was playing for, I remember like every game they'd pick up Slark, and every game they would just crush with the Slark. So yeah, it's I can't even remember. I think Miguel is playing off lane for them now. God, I am so out of touch with Western Dota. Don't worry. I'll get better, but it takes me a few days to get my bearings. So,
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, his Slark was pretty legendary for that tournament. Teams actually started banning it. And this was back when Slark was like, I think TC had played it a handful. Or not TC, Korak had played it a handful of times for Liquid, but it was just not a go-to hero for anyone. So Sigma, at any rate, go back for a Dragon Knight Enchantress. So now kind of the meat of their lineup is pushing. Obviously the level 6 Dragon Form, the Visage Familiars, and the Enchantress Creep. So pretty good tower diving lineup, decent amount of damage. And Power Rangers are not the best counter push lineup. Kunkka is pretty damn good, but Crystal Maiden, Mirana, not that great. It's a little dicey to push into a Mirana, though, mainly because you always have to be worried about getting arrowed. You get arrowed in the wrong position, suddenly you lose a hero, and then suddenly you're just in a headlong retreat. Interesting from Sigma, though, they opted to skip the Chen, so really suggesting that they want a little bit more of an aggressive, like, early to mid-game. And they're not quite as focused on just having a stronger mid-game. They're just snowballing the lanes early on. Get a couple of early towers with the Dragon Knight, or get the Clockwork off to a fast start and roll from there. It's not too late to get rid of the cats, huh?
10 seconds remaining.
I think the owner would, the family that rescued them would probably kill me. It's really sad. Apparently they found them with their mother, and they were under like a truck outside, and the guy who found them. Actually, I got them from his wife. She was the one who was like taking care of them. But he's apparently like a guy who just will like rescue animals in general. And he saw like a mother and 2 kittens under a truck, and they looked hungry. So he fed them, and then like he kept on doing it for a few days. And then one day he came back, and the kittens were there, and the mother was gone. And apparently this is pretty common for indoor-outdoor cats. Like the cat will go and have its kittens outside of the house for whatever reason. And then at some point, it'll get hungry, and then it's like, oh yeah, I can get food back there. And it leaves, and sometimes it doesn't take the kittens with them. So fortunately, these kindly folks took the kittens in, and we'll see how they do. So far, they like each other. They're eating. They're not going to die of starvation, but they're just very shy. So, well, Sigma now working on their final pick for the draft. They ban out a Weaver and a Bristleback. So they were banning offlaners and just kind of like hard to kill heroes in that previous stage. And Power Rangers actually go Slardar. Oh baby, man, this Slardar pick. They potentially need another support. I wonder, do you think about something like a Dazzle here even? Dazzle Slardar, very strong combo, pretty damn good against Lifestealer. And this lineup does well with Dragon Knight in particular, because he really relies on Dragon's Blood to be tanky. But there's a lot of other damage, and they do go Dazzle. Dazzle Slardar, minus armor combo, really bursty lineup. This is very scary for Sigma if they ever get caught out of position. And I'm not going to forget the overlays, guys. I'll probably do it later, but at least not for this game. Or at least not for this initial load, assuming no remakes. My goodness. But, yeah, Dazzle Slardar. So a lot of minus armor for this team. The one issue that I gotta fix my camera settings. The one issue I see for them, though, is their lineup is incredibly level dependent. And hopefully that's... It's been so long since I cast. I don't even remember my, like, menu hotkeys. Oh, man, that's really slow. Let's see if we can speed that up a little bit. Different setup. Okay, that seems a bit better. So anyway, guys, before we talk too much about the draft, let's introduce our teams. It's our first of 6 Starladder matches. This one is a must-win for Power Rangers. An important match as well for Sigma. It's a pretty tight race. If you want to check out the standings, head over to dota2.starladder.tv or to Liquipedia. You can see full standings there for the event, but just know that for Power Rangers, they really got to win this. So if you're on their side, if you're in the 28% of people who bet on them, go Power Rangers. We'll have Miguel playing the Clockwork, possibly playing your support Visage. Of course, this is for Team Sigma, effing mad on the Enchantress. That does put Fata onto the Dragon Knight. And then it will be, is this Sakshka? God, who was the one who, I think it was Funzy who retired, right? Yeah, I think it's Sakshka on the Lifestealer. And actually, my camera's a little bit too sensitive. Okay, so well, on the side of Power Rangers, they're Mighty, they're Morphin. We start with Moon, he'll be your offlane Marana. ZXC on the Kunkka. PR, I'll call him Apostrophe, playing the Crystal Maiden. And J4, the Dazzle. And then the guy with the awesome name, it's Cheshire Cat, or Trish Quick on the Slardar. I'm just going to call him Cheshire Cat, though. Lifestealer will pick up an Invisor at level 1. So looking at the way the lanes are going to develop, it'll be an offlane Marana, might get a little help from like a roaming Crystal Maiden, but generally will be on her own. Up against a Lifestealer, that's a good matchup. And it's lonesome. Lifestealer, Visage, not so good. And then with Enchantress thrown into the mix, it gets a little bit scary for this Marana. So it looks like they'll actually settle into a dual lane here. But even so, oh, they're going to get a nice D-ward off the bat. Well, if Crystal Maiden would ever stop missing uphill. Marana's like waiting to last hit this, but Crystal Maiden will secure the 50 gold. And they'll go right away, but they walk into an Enchantress who has a Centaur. Oh no, this is probably first blood here. Couple more right clicks to bring Apostrophe down. And he will fall. They get an arrow off, but now Moon's in trouble. And he's skilled arrow, which means he's probably going to die as well. There's an open wounds. Oh god, this is from bad to worse. Well, they are the 28% here. Power Rangers give up 2 in rather sloppy fashion, so not the best start for them. Yeah, it is very dangerous. Normally when you contest the enemy jungle, you want to do it before the creeps spawn. Like when you wander up this ramp, and it's after 30 seconds, exactly that sort of thing can happen. Enchantress gets a lucky creep. The other support happens to be in the neighborhood. And they pretty much knew that Enchantress as well as Visage were going to be there because they saw Clockwork off lane. He's not really a great dual lane hero. Dragon Knight mid, you're not going to dual lane him against a Kunkka. He does fine 1v1. So, gotta say for Power Rangers, just a little bit greedy, sloppy. And it was kind of unlucky. Crystal Maiden just happened around the corner, like hugging the tree line right with the Enchantress there. But them's the breaks, folks. And, well, it was a pretty risky play nonetheless. So, obviously, that bottom lane is horribly lost now for Power Rangers. They'll try to recover, but it's going to be tough. Visage up to 900 gold. He did get the first blood, so he can get early boots, early magic stick, and go to work. As for our other 2 lanes, Kunkka up against Dragon Knight mid. A pretty even matchup. Kunkka on paper is really good against other melee heroes, just because you can harass them down with Tidebrainer. But the problem is, and they're always going to be near the creep wave when they're melee, but the problem is Dragon Knight just bottle Crow. So even if you harass him, you're never going to kill him until you hit level 6, and even then, he's a pretty tough kill. So Fata should farm freely. Kunkka should still hold his own in terms of CS, but not quite as good in terms of spamming the waves out. Like, you can't really... Spamming Torrent is not the same as Breathe Fire. We will see a Smoke Yank, though, from Effie rotating towards mid. He may find a Courier here. I wonder if he just backs off and wraps around for it. Nope, he's been revealed. DXC has not spotted him yet. Now the slow comes. Centaur stop will be his death. He gets it. Dragon Tail as well. No, he breathed fire first. No, he blocks himself with his illusions. Oh, Fata should have stunned first and then gone for a couple right clicks, then breathed fire. I think he thought he had the kill without it, but Well, that's going to cost them what should have been a very easy kill. Really nice movement from effing Mad. Now he's just going to go aggressive jungle, and he will find an Ursa. He did have vision of that courier, so I thought maybe he'd like just try and sneak around while he still smoked and go for the backstab, but that's not going to be the case. Now Apostrophe rotates in mid. And ZXC just going to be hanging out. Now, with the two of them here, if Crystal Maiden's level 2 or 3, yeah, hasn't gone for Arcane Art, they could potentially kill Dragon Knight, but it's going to be tough. He's got Bottle, he's about to pick up Boots, so once he has Boots, then it's a pretty difficult kill. In fact, Apostrophe, he's stalking effing Mad, but who's hunting who is the question, because effing Mad, does he have any points in heal here? Yes, he does. Not popping, and he gets chain stun. He goes down. You can pop Nature's Attendance when you're frostbitten, but just a bit slow to react will bite the dust, so well, Power Rangers strike back, and good rotation. They did spot the Enchantress move into their jungle. It just went to hunting, but I felt if she had popped the heal earlier, might have been able to live. Now Moon on the bottom lane. Already used Leap. They do have a Rage here. Soul Assumption. One more right click. Down Marana goes. The cat lady no longer sane in here. Vata posting up. He could be in trouble, though. Oh, no turret was just used, so should be okay. Overall, Starladder, I guess the one lane we have not talked about is this top lane. Starladder is free farming, and he really needs to free farm early because this hero does not farm well later on. So having a good start for Starladder very important. And he's had quite a bit of help from the Dazzle. Level 3 Dazzle, level 4 Starladder. With Starladder, it's a very snowball type hero. Like if you have a bad start, you don't get your early Vanguard, your early Blink Dagger. You just become food, either because you have to run in and you're not tanky enough, or you blink in but you're just not survivable enough. So having this good start is crucial. He'll go Treads. The more aggressive option is definitely to go straight into Blink. And against Sigma, I think you really want that instant initiation. Blink and crush Enchantress before she can actually get the heal off, or before like Dragon Knight can potentially get off a Dragon Tail, which can really turn the tides. But we'll see what he goes for. Vanguard or BKB right away is the other main option. They go out on ZXC now, eats a Dragon Tail to the face, but she'll be okay. Crystal Maiden, not so lucky. Well, that's the wrong neighborhood for Mr. Apostrophe. Probably going to be going down. Nope, juking away. Now the Kunkka, big cleaves, and the Grave. Vata would be next in line. One more right click, brings him down, off with his head, and now effing Mad is going to be effing dead if he doesn't juke like a boss here. Couple more right clicks, Torrent to fly, he walks back into it. Oh no, he jukes it. The cleave, not enough. ZXC. He'll go down as well. Bloodbath in the middle lane. And now the score. It was a sloppy fight for both teams, especially for Power Rangers, but when it's all said and done, it was 5-2. Kunkka really, like, as soon as that Tort missed, he should have ran. He should have not have stuck around, because Enchantress was healing up a bit during that time and was not the easy kill she looked to be. So, Power Rangers a couple overextensions. All things considered, though. Oh, bottom lane. Going on to Moon here. He does have a leap. He's trying to delay it a bit. There are phase boots up, though. Oh, boy. Sakshika can dive this. One more right click. They infest juke. Nicely played. Dodges the arrow, heals up, and secures the kill. I love the early phase boots lifesteal. You'll see, like, you don't really see the greedy Midas rush as much anymore, except for speed gaming, where Eternal Envy will always go for it if he can get away with it. Whether it's a lifesteal or a Clinks, whatever the case is, but getting early phase boots against a hero that's normally hard to kill like Marana means you can just run her down, even after the leap. So I love the item selection here. And it actually helps, I would say it helps you far more, because it means Marana's completely out of the lane. Sure, you don't get the Midas Gold, but you just have free farm, you're not being contested, and you shut down their offlaner, so their loss is your gain, basically. But we'll settle down a bit. The key hero, obviously, for Power Rangers at this point has to be the Starladder, because Marana's been shut down offlane. She's got really nothing at this point. Boots Basilius, not going to be high impact here, and more importantly, not getting the levels. I mean, a big arrow could be nice, but they need follow-up, and the big follow-up will be the Starladder. Kunkka's not really a hero that can charge into the middle of the fight, not with this level of farm. So what's Starladder going to go for? Up to 800 gold. I think you got to go Blink here. They have like a decent late game lineup, but I feel like Sigma just much easier to execute when they go in now on ZXC. Easy Dragon Tail into a kill. This is where Crystal Maiden just feels kind of useless middle lane. Like, she can't really protect Kunkka at all. I'd rather see like the Dazzle parked mid, perhaps. The main issue though is he needs the levels more than CM, so they're really caught between rock and a hard place. Dazzle would be more effective at stopping the aggression mid, but of course he would also suffer more than Crystal Maiden does for the lack of levels. So tough situation for Power Rangers. You just got to go back to that level 1 engagement where they gave up a first blood and a double kill and wonder, could it have been different? I think yes.
Do it with flair.
I still believe in Power Rangers though, guys. I still believe. Maybe not if this gank succeeds. One more good gank and it might be all she wrote. Oh, there's your open wounds. They're just going to dive this. Moon's in all kinds of trouble. There's an infest available. The double familiar stun coming from the trees. Nicely played. And they force out a TP to what avail? Airballs the crush. That's not what Starladder wanted to do. And look at the soul assumption. He might die to familiars here. The bonus damage from Sprint. Braining him low. Won't bring him down. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Fata dropping pretty low as well, but he will be okay. Very tanky hero. And now, on the back of those early familiars, they're going to start pushing. Level 6 Visage, 8 minutes in. Only a level 5 Dazzle, which sounds decent, but... Dazzle isn't... He's also not a hero like Visage, where when he hits 6, it's like, oh man, now I'm amazing. Like, Visage becomes 2 heroes when he hits level 6, basically. But Dazzle's like, it's okay, but you really want to get to, like, level 12. Level 10 to 12 or so before he really hits his stride. At least have a few points of Poison Touch. It used to be you'd have 3, but nowadays either you max it or you just kind of ignore it, I would say. So that you... Because it doesn't have like that automatic stun at level 3 the way it used to. You need to get it to level 4. So with that being said, under-level Dazzle means he'll only have level 1, maybe 2 in Shallow Grave, or he just won't be leveling up his heal much. And if you have a low-level Shallow Grave, it's got a really bad range. And here we go. Big boat coming in mid. Fata in trouble. Eat some Cocoa Rum. Now a hook shot from Miguel. It's too late. And now he's got to run. No Torrent available. They do force the Starladder in mid. Suddenly 5 heroes mid. Why not? Looks like your typical pub game nowadays, except the main difference is there would usually be a filthy Earth Spirit picker in the mix. No filthy Earth Spirit pickers, but either way, we'll see an arrow fly. It's gonna connect on Miguel. Do they really want to dive him? I think they can. They've got amplified damage. Should have popped it first before the crush for the bonus damage, but hey, they still gonna get him. Now the cogs come out. I think Cheshire Cat's gonna pay. He's gonna fall. Centaur Stomp coming through. Soul Assumption. No, he gets graved with his dying breath. Dazzle tries to keep him alive. And Cheshire Cat, one more right click. He gets the kill. 2 for 2. They want Moon though. So Marana casually struts in for the feed. And when it's all said and done, I believe it was a 3 for 3, yeah, because they got the Dragonite before the whole engagement broke out. But I don't think Power Rangers should be happy with that trade, because they gave up 2 cores, and their most important carry as well, which was the Starladder. Not necessarily the most important later on. I'd say Marana and Kunkka probably become more useful as the game drags on, but Starladder is your key mid-game here. He's your initiator. He's the one that wants to be in the front lines, tanking it up, and not able to do so here. So now the TPs come in, but where are they going to go on? Sakshika can just rage and run away. Fata can just back off, and interestingly enough, he's going for an early casual chainmail. I wonder if he's going for a medallion, or if he just casual chainmail, he'll build it into an AC later on. This does free up... No, Visage already has a medallion. Okay, so just maybe a blade mail? Interesting. I have not seen a blade mail rush Dragonite before. I'll reserve my judgment until I see how it goes, and then I'll flame him if it doesn't work. Cheshire Cat and Miguel. Just hanging out. How great would it be if he body blocks the hook shot? Oh man, how salty is Miguel going to be if that happens? I don't know if it's going to happen. Rocket to fly, but there's nobody mid. They all rotate. Now they're smoked and they're wrapping around. If they start with the Miguel kill here and Sigma comes to defend, this could really fall apart for them. And they got to go now. They get the crush off. Now the arrow to fly. It's going to connect. Miguel's dead off the bat. And now Fata could be next to the meat grinder. The familiars though, doing what they can in the meantime. The top lane is pushing it and the rotation comes. Now the X, but the heal's already gone off on Effie Mad. Not an easy kill. Meanwhile on the backside, the crush comes through, but it won't hit Sakshika because he's got rage, not taking the damage there, and he'll be able to just dish for the time being. On the run is your Dazzle. Familiar's pursuing him out. The crush comes through, connects on 2. Where's the detection? The Moonlight Shadow kept them alive for quite some time, and now Cheshire Cat looks to run. One more imp should bring him down. Oh my goodness, what a chaotic fight. Welcome to Russian Dota. Pos also caught out of position. J4 duking it out with him. One more right click, got him. Brings him down. That's an unstoppable streak. 800 gold going the way of your mighty Kunkka. Well, that's a pick-me-up if I've ever seen one. And when it's all said and done, Crystal Maiden got a double kill. I think it was a 4 for 3. Let's see. 4 for 3 or 4 for 2. I am not 100% sure, to be honest. That was just chaos, but scored a 13-9. Oh my goodness. The one thing I love about Power Rangers is they always make the enemy team play their game. Even if they lose, they love to play this just like, let's fight early, let's fight often, let's never stop fighting until we're 2 corpses in a ditch. Dota. And Sigma kind of forced to play along with it, so that all started with that Invis rune from Starladder. Chilling here for a while, and then they just, the entire team smokes all the way around and goes for the backstab. So pretty good stuff, but when it's all said and done, Sigma actually gets the tower, so I would say pretty even trade over the past few minutes. And once again, I feel even trades do favor Sigma. Lifestealer, Dragon Knight, and just higher damage output supports and supports that scale better with farm. Visage especially, and then Enchantress as well. So I would say Sigma definitely, if it's an even game, I'd put them ahead. And right now, Power Rangers not in such a great position. But, oh no, really? Dota crashing again. Sorry guys, not sure why it keeps on crashing. I will try and look into this after this game, but in the meantime, I guess I have to restart. Ay. What can you do? Has anybody heard of this? Is there like a new crash bug with the latest patch or something? Because I've been pubbing on my other computer and have not had any issues. I'm not sure if it's something to do with XSplit though. Maybe that's what's causing it. I do apologize for the disconnect though, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we don't have any more. But this is looking good for Sigma, and it's really bad for Power Rangers because it's not enough for them just to like have a close game, have a learning experience. They were in top 4 before yesterday, before they lost to Empire. They need to win this game, and if they don't, I don't know if they're mathematically eliminated, but at that point their chance of advancing to the playoffs is like so remote, they might as well not have a chance of advancing. As we wait to load back inside the game, and we'll get back in, still 13-9, so we didn't miss any kills. We came back just in time for a huge smoke gank from Power Rangers. They're painting furiously. They might find FA mad, but he's not really the best hero to find here. The Enchantress pops the heal immediately, arrow to fly. They should be able to burst him down. But if Enchantress is all you get, you're not particularly satisfied. Now the stun comes down Fata. They didn't amplify damage for him, though. The boat comes through. It's going to hit too. Barely clips him on the backside. Now the Moonlight Shadow, Posh dropping low. Grave keeping J4 alive for now. Now another crush. Down goes the Clockwork. This is why they love Starladder. Big damage from him with the Amplify. But they'll lose the Crystal Maiden. Suddenly a 3-for-1. Another crush. This one on Fata. Amp going on the Lifestealer, but he rages it off immediately. He's not taking the damage he would normally. The arrow coming through as well. Finally, Dazzle pops his ult. Paris on the run. Fata getting stunned. That one's on 2. See ya, Fata. Dragon going down. Or is he? Nope, gets the double kill. Oh my goodness. Now the familiar stun. He still had the buckler and the stick charges to keep him alive. Oi. Mechanism Rush Dragon Knight. Well, it's working. I actually like this a lot because Power Rangers lineup is really built around minus armor. Amplified damage is the big one. But I guess to a secondary degree, obviously Dazzle ult is very important there, Weave, and more so as the game goes on. Kunkka, not really that useful for him, because most of his damage comes from Cleave, and Cleave ignores armor, or armor value, I should say. So, with that being said, I think getting an early mech, Dragon Knight doesn't need it that much himself, but it really helps their team. The other thing is you just want a fast mech against Power Rangers because of their playstyle. Like I mentioned earlier, this team just loves to fight early, often, and constantly, so getting a mech against them is way better than rushing something that helps you as an individual, like a BKB, a drums, you know, even a Shadow Blade. This is, to me, the better choice. What I was going to say is Power Rangers, the one comeback mechanic they really have is Amplify Damage and try to sneak an early Roche. Before I disconnected and lost my train of thought. But the problem for them, make sure my printer cables are connected. Thanks, guys. Oy. Okay, so yeah, so they can sneak Roche pretty quickly, but it is dangerous to do it against Sigma. You do not want to get caught fighting in the pit against Hook, against Familiars especially, but I think they can do it fast enough that Sigma won't be able to react, and right now Power Rangers, they do have a ward in the middle lane. Looking at their vision, they see Clockwork's top, or they just saw him top, now they don't know where he is, but they can assume he won't be here too quickly, and then now they see another rocket flying from the top lane, so they're going to take a bit of a risk here, but it looks like it's going to work out. Roche dropping pretty quickly. They'll pop the Dazzle ultimate. Roshan, though, not going to be affected by that. And in comes Sakshka, looking for the Roche. Steal, can he get their last hit? No, he's right-clicking heroes. Now a hook shot to fly. Boat comes through as well. The Aegis snatched by the Crystal Maiden. The last hit going to the Radiant here. Now Apostrophe. How is he not dead? Oh, he's got the Aegis. Now he's got the Grave. Crystal Maiden, 3 lives. Almost a cat. Forget about Cheshire Cat. This one's the real cat, but he could have 10 lives. I think he'll die 10 times against this lineup. Now Starladder trying to deal with the lifesteal. He's looking for a crush. Crystal Maiden ult. Not doing enough. Brings about 3 down to half HP. Can't secure the kills. Another heal coming through, but ZXC on the run. And now your Starladder on the run as well. ZXC is going to fall. They lose 2. They lose their Aegis, so call it 3. And they give up the Roche kill. 3 for 1, including an Aegis for 1 of those lives. And the Roche kill going the other way. Talk about a disaster here for Team Power Rangers. I mean, that was pretty greedy. 5 heroes alive on Sigma. They got rocketed twice. Once from here, and then another time, there was like a secondary warning shot from, it was like over here, somewhere in that area. You know Clockwork's coming at that point. And they saw Lifestealer with this ward, just like dancing around outside the pit. And they're like, no, we're just going to go for it anyway. YOLO! Well, YOLO, you only live once. You also only die once before you give up Roche in this case. So now a hookshot comes in, nails the creeps, but not much else. And Power Rangers now in a really bad spot. I mean, it's not that their lineup doesn't use farm well, but if you wanted to sit back and farm, you'd be a lot better off with these heroes on Sigma. Dragon Knight, a Lifestealer, I mean, even something like a Gyrocopter, Weaver, Clinks. There's a lot of other heroes you'd rather have than Kunkka, Slardar, and to some extent Marana. You pick this lineup, they wanted to snowball, they picked Slardar to fight early to mid-game, keep on getting off those crushes, butcher squishy supports, but unfortunately for Power Rangers, they just had the bad level 1 engagement bottom, and have just been getting caught out of position ever since. So now Sigma's going to hide behind their tower in the bottom lane. They're baiting this. They went back for a later Midas on Saksha. He's had it for a while now, but now goes towards the armlet. Already completed the jump, so very fat Lifestealer, to make a long story short. And the problem is they have Amplify damage, but Rage just removes it. So in theory, Midas armor great against Lifestealer, but Rage is going to be the answer to that in a lot of ways. I mean, it's kind of the answer to everything, to be honest. As we'll see Saksha going back behind the tree line. He will reveal the Visage. Now they've seen Effie-Mats. They know 3 are here. They see Clockwork's coming as well. I don't think they want to stay. The open wounds is going to come out. The arrow will connect on Effie-Mat, but he's got 1,000 HP with the Ghost Scepter. Now the hook shot flying through. Big, bad boat. Connects on 2. But Fata with the Met keeping everyone in fighting shape. And in they go. Cheshire Cat. Out he goes. He wants to run. He does not want to fight against this death ball. ZXD eats another stun. Now the Familiars doing work. Everybody dropping low. Crush again hitting multiple heroes. Another Kunkka cleave. I don't think it's going to matter though. Sigma just too tanky at this point. Moon also on the run. They're going to lose 2. Make it 3 most likely. Moon has a leap. Won't get to use it. 2 seconds to go on the cooldown. And now J4 retreating back. So when it's all said and done, they lose 3. The Slardar TP's out, and we see the Lonely Dazzle retreat back to base. But this is the mech advantage. I think more than anything for Sigma, obviously they're more farm, they're up by 10k, but more than anything, I think their lineup just easier to execute in team fights. Slardar has to run in to hit a crush. Kunkka Boat isn't really a reliable stun. Even Arrow isn't reliable, whereas Sigma have like guaranteed lockdown. Hookshot pretty much impossible to miss in traffic, especially with that many heroes clumped up. And you've got tons of burst damage. Visage, press 1 button, win the fight. AK, Soul Assumption. Dragon Tail, of course, very strong. And, well, everyone just clump up near Dragon Knight. He'll pop the mech when you get low. So I think their lineup's just a little more stable and easy to execute. But I gotta say, they're playing pretty well. And this is with Power Rangers like having okay initiations. I mean, they hit a Marana arrow on the Enchantress off the bat. That's a pretty good way to start the fight. They dropped a boat and a torrent for her as well, but she's got Ghost Scepter. She's just too tanky to burst. And if you can't burst Enchantress, then she's an awful target to go on, because she just heals back to full HP, and you've used like 3 or 4 spells to try to initiate and bring her down. Well, guys, it's our first of 6 matches for today's Starladder action, and I gotta say, right now, it is looking pretty damn good for Team Sigma. Power Rangers in basically a must-win scenario. This is looking like a likely loss for them, and I guess there was a reason why they were the 28%. I still think they could have taken, they could have had a much better start than this. They just didn't execute at level 1 quite as well as they could have. And well, Cheshire Cat, he'll be the next casualty of war. Easy Dragon Tail into the Familiars. See ya. Now they're gonna try to go for the backstab though. ZXC comes in along with Apostrophe. J4 lurking in the wings as well, and
Dire's top tower is under
Sigma will take this tier 1 top. Power Rangers just can't contest. I mean, I mentioned that their combo is harder to execute. At this point, it's not just that. Like, there's nobody. Oh, Dota just froze. I thought it was going to crash again. I was ready to start raging, but someone was saying to chat, Hani's been having this issue, so I guess it's not just me. But I do apologize if it happens again. I'm knocking on wood. Hopefully, this is an IKEA table. They're like fake wood, so I'll knock on the wall. Yeah, that's drywall. That's a lot more legit. And hopefully it doesn't happen again. But yeah, at this point, like, who do you go on? You can't go on the Dragon Knight. Obviously, Mech Sanj, he's got 1800 HP and a shitload of armor. You're not killing him. Lifestealer pretty much the same as well. Oh, they're going to initiate on him, but I don't think this is the right guy to go in. They want to burst him fast, but he's going to get the mech off here. And the Halberd gets delivered in the middle of the fight. He may go down, but they've used so much to kill him. Now the Crystal Mate on the run. The Familiar Stone's coming through. Visage gets 1 kill. And now Power Rangers, having unloaded their entire payload, can they continue to fight? I don't think so. Hookshot comes. That's on 3. It's a good old back cogs and a beatdown. In the cog. See ya. 3 dead, 4 dead. Make it 5. It's a team wipe. Oh, boy. That's a GG fight. Indeed it is. And Sigma get absolutely just out of control. They clown on Power Rangers. And they crush them. 5 heroes dead. And that was... They killed Dragon Knight right away. That was another, like, decent initiation. If they just had a better start in the laning stage, I think they could have easily taken this game, but Power Rangers, that level 1 engagement, giving up first blood, just late to enter the jungle, late to contest the Enchantress, let her get a creep, and it felt like it was just kind of downhill from there. So, well, guys, I don't know if this officially ends the run in Starladder, but it means that they are up against it to have any chance of advancing. We're not done yet, though. We've got a lot more games coming up for y'all as the day continues. We'll update the countdown in a second, but next up will be Q-Pad Red Pandas versus Mouse Sports. Stick around. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond the Summit. Starladder Season 8 continues after this.